Coach's Corner has been on for 42 years now. 1972 was the first year of Coach's Corner, and they used to have some great stories about up at the Branding Iron, and they used to have just when they did the show live, and now everybody calls in. It's a busy world.
It's not as fun.
It's
not as fun.
It's not as everybody sitting up there in one spot. And
everybody listens to Coach's Corner, and you want to get the scoop of what's going on. You don't read the papers. You listen to Coach's Corner. I mean, you measure the success of the students, not so much always with wins and losses, but you hear the stories about what's going on, and you know, that's what people want to hear.
And then, of course, it was the after show that was maybe as entertaining as anything.
That was the case of the off-the-air stuff was probably pretty interesting. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I mean, and those, and then of course, you know, just kind of gelling everything in, like with Dave's sentiments, was that we worked really hard to have that reputation to be a positive, you know, voice for the sports and the recognition of the kids.
I think over the course of the years that Devin's been here, I mean, you saw kind of the changing of the guard in some ways with all the different coaches. There was a lot of long-time coaches that were here.
Yeah.
Like Dell before you became the head coach of Fillmore Central, Ken Jacobson leaving Chatfield, Southland, Dick Strand. You know, all those guys that had been there for years, that had been part of some of those Branding Iron shenanigans or whatever you want.
They weren't bad.
No, they weren't. There was just some fun stories from that.
You should write a book, Bill, on that.
You could.
Because I've heard a few of those stories, and they make you tear up and laugh so hard.
But that was quite. I mean, that was quite a time period that you saw there. And then even more than that, it's even been a change in the way all the fields have been. A lot of these fields have been the same and untouched for years and years and years, and a lot of them have started to change. New press boxes, turf fields.
I was going to bring up the press boxes because
that's been a plus.
We were in a few where, if it was a windy night, I was.
The snowfall at Spring Grove.
You were not very comfortable in some of those press boxes. I can remember a couple of them that they'd start shaking, and that wasn't always. You really had to concentrate on the game, because otherwise you might start freaking out thinking that
many a time it was never side by side. It was front and back.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
You know, and leaning over and trying. Now where's that play going? You know.
That's why we used the TV that one year.
That's right.
Choice. Yeah.
And I'll actually remember one year, it was a playoff game in Elgin before they got their new press box, and we were standing almost behind two of the assistant coaches. As luck would have it, one of the assistant coaches actually had radio experience, and there was a couple times I actually put the microphone on him, and he was kind enough to fill in for what I couldn't see, because I couldn't see one certain corner of the field.